Hey, welcome back, guys. So there's something I need to fix. The eyes are kind of pushed back inside the inner eye, so let's temporarily hide this. Let me name this to eyeglass so I know what it is. So I'll hide this. Okay, so the inner eye. Let's center pivot on that. Should probably do this from the side view. Then turn on wireframe for this. Really downside to this is that if I'm increasing this, uh, okay, let's start by bringing this forward a bit more. Okay, let's see. Now that's coming out way too much. That's coming out way too much. Let's push this two of this out a bit more. Uh, Too much. It's actually coming out. Let's see if there's a way we can make this work without having this come out way too much. Get a closer view on this. Probably select these two center pivots. Push this down. Yeah, let's try this on. Let's try this. So I'm going to be selecting everything again. Do a quick save for my scene. And I'll export out this selection again. So studio, visual setup, dual FBX, that's fine. So that should automatically update in Marmost Toolbag too. Okay. That would automatically update itself in here. So it's kind of loading up. So it's kind of updating now. It's updating now. Okay. Then this backlight, I'll increase the brightness of this backlight a bit more. Let's see. Okay. And the backlights. Probably that's way too much. Okay, it won't work very well because of the diameter of the light, I believe. So let's see if we can take this out. Oh, that's the wrong shape. Wrong shape. Supposed to be this spot angle. Let me see if I can get this to work. Oh, okay. I see why it's shining brighter now. So let me get this back. Should probably do a duplicate for this instead, just to have a backup. Need to rotate this. I bring this forward a bit more. Push this down like so. Okay, something like this. Then let's see if we can just shrug this down. I'll bring this forward a bit more. I will take this downwards, back like so. Maybe rotate it back a bit more. I'll rotate this way a bit more like so. Maybe way too much. Okay. Yeah, something like this should be fine, I guess. Probably reduce the brightness for this. Okay. Okay. Let me do a quick save. Right, so now let's isolate the body now. And let's start adding what is necessary to the body. I'm adding the textures rather. Okay. So I'll push this aside. So let's find the body for this. Okay, this is the body in here. So let's plug in the normal map. Let's get the normal map in here. So XP texture. I doubt if my this search engine is working. Let's just body normal map. It's taking a bit of time to load. I need to leave the eyeball in there just to have something for the eyeball. So inner eye, okay, outer eye, okay, okay. So let's carry on. So now for the albedo. So the albedo will give us a clear idea if our light intensity is just way too much. So let's see how this applies to this. Okay, fair enough. Let's check this. Okay, everything is turned on. But we cannot turn this off. We cannot use just a weird looking material. So let's have this turned on. Okay. Then the roughness map. Alright. Though this thing still feels a bit dark though. It makes the skin look or feel a bit dark. The light environment is making the skin look a bit dark. I like to group all of this, put all these lights in a group. Uh, studio set up. Okay. Let's see if maybe if we add a light in the center, maybe that should help. Something like this facing it directly. Now that's just blown out way too much. But this will work though. We'll probably change this to a directional light. Let's see. Now that's just illuminating the entire environment. Think we changed something. Where is this? Let's see what this gives us. So I'm not trying this one. Let's see what this gives us. This is too bright though. And I think I prefer this, that kind of spotlight kind of feeling to it. So I think I'll delete this and create a new one. Because I can't see. Oh, okay. Let's create a new one in here. Yeah, much better. Then just to increase the brightness for this. Let's use something a bit orangish. More or less like a warmer color to it. Okay. Yeah, I'll just leave this as it is. So this is fine. So let's add some. Let's add what's it called? Let's add subsurface scattering to this. So under this, is there any other thing I'm supposed to add in here? Probably not. But let's zoom in a bit more to the skin. Let's see the skin texture. Okay, that's very nice. We have really good skin texture in here. Now, it's an issue for the eye. There's an issue for the eye. It's coming out on this side way too much. So let's go back in here and correct that. Just coming out way too much on that side. We'll probably do this with, probably just use the move brush, just move this in though. Let's see if we can go to the sculpting tools. Try to figure out the best way to do this without having to ruin anything else. Let's just push this together back in though, a little. Nah. I'm not liking these eyes. I'm not liking the eye at all. I might just have to I might just have to go back to ZBrush and then fix this. So was the previous, think it should be the previous way it was. I think of even creating a new eye in here. Okay, let me hide this for now. Let me hide that for now. I'll push this outward a bit more. Like so. Let's create a new eye. Let's create a new eye model in there. Though this shouldn't be okay, let's just create a new one in here. So I'm going to be using a new sphere. Come on. But the fourth eye that came with this is just messed up. I don't want to use that. So a sphere. Let's create a new sphere in here. I'll be using the wireframe mode instead. I'll just draw out something like so. Get this in the center like this. I think I would like to hide everything else. Apart from the inner eyes and the hairs. Okay. I'll hide the backdrop also. So I can just work with this alone. Okay. Let's check this from the side view. Let's see what we have from the side view. Maybe, just maybe, I might not even need to kind of create that kind of blob around here. But let's just create it. So I'm going to do a duplicate of this sphere. Then the original one for this, I would just come in here and increase the subdivision axis, which is probably 40. I think 30 should be fine. Yeah, something like this. No, better let me undo this. Better still, I'll leave this as low as it is right now. Then face mode, I'll select these faces. Go to the scale too. Don't know if we need. Let's see where this is facing. Okay, I'll just push this out, like so. Maybe out a bit more like this. Something like this should work. Then let's bring back the body. Let's see how this looks with the body on. So let's look for the body. So bring back the body in here. Okay, somewhere like this should be fine. Maybe forward a bit more like this. Now just rotate it this way out a bit more. I believe we can work with this. So I'll just mirror this to the other side. I'll turn off cut geometry. Okay, guessing this should be fine. I'll just name this to new outer eyes. I'll delete history on that. So let's turn everything back on. So I will select everything apart from the previous outer eye. Something like this, all of this again. Then I'm going to export this out again. Okay. So I've successfully exported this. So in Marmost Toolbag, this should be updating in should have given it the same outer eye texture. Yes, perfect. This is just perfect. This is fine. This will work just fine. This will work just fine. So yeah. Uh uh Outer eyes. Probably delete this one. And just apply this outer eyes to this new outer eyes. The material of the old outer eyes, the new outer eyes objects. Alright. I'll do a quick save now. So now for the skin, let's add some SSS to the skin. So under Lambda GGX, okay. Under Lambda, let me drop this. Yeah, rather under transfusion. I think volumetric scattering will give the better results. So let's use this volumetric scattering instead. Is there a way to kind of isolate just the body alone? Maybe with control click, just like in or click, just like in Photoshop. Body. Probably not. But that's fine. Let's just get this skin looking a bit softer than it is right now. So let's increase the scatter rate. Let's increase the scatter depth. Increasing scatter depth, we're having something unrealistic like this. That looks more like wax. We don't want that, so let's soften this out a bit more. So I'll just kind of get a closer look on the skin and try to figure out which particular value should work just fine for it. This one actually looks good. So let's check this from a distance. Let's sight it from a distance. Let's see. Let's see. Let's try a value of 1 in here first. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, now I'm losing most of the subsurface scattering in there. Let's try a value of 3. Because I don't want something that will make this character skins way too soft. I think this looks like a good value. Let's hide this backdrop for now. So under this our light setup, let's turn off everything else apart from the backlights, so we can kind of see the subsurface affecting the air. So it's the backlight that will kind of give us a clear idea to see how the subsurface is affecting the air, which is quite okay. Can actually work with this. Yeah, this looks. Let's see what happens when we put this to 1. We can't see much of that happening in the 4. I think value of 4 or 3.5 might just be the magic number we need. But let's try subsurface scattering instead. Let's see what that gives us. No, definitely not. I think I'll prefer to go with the volumetric scattering instead. Volumetric scattering seems to be giving a much better result if you ask me. So let's turn on the other lights in here. Alright. Yeah, this will work just fine. So let's bring back our studio. Let's bring back the studio in here. Okay. So this is how we kind of set up the texture. Though rendering this in Anode would be a whole lot better, but at least for the most part this looks fine. So what I'm going to do is to try out a different light setup for this. So let me turn this off. Let me turn off every other light in here. Let us use a different light setup. Definitely not this. So I'm going to be importing a new. Well, first of all, let me kind of save the file. So I want to kind of use a light setup from the Anode, sorry, Substance Painter file. Environment, exterior. Let's try the Mandarini. Okay, so just need to kind of rotate our light around this. Kind of get this facing here like so. Let's see how this is. Okay, this looks fine. Yeah, this is actually fine. I'm just kind of checking this skin texture with the different light setup in here. So that's fine, but I will prefer to use the one we created. So let's turn what one we created back on. Now this is just way too orangey. Okay. So now the next thing is to start bringing in this kind of texture the eye in here. So let's get some textures for the eye. So let's start with the inner eyes instead. So let me temporarily hide this new outer eye. So this is the inner eye. Now let's give this let's give this let's give this hair some let's give it some black material. I'm not even sure if this is even the hair, but let's see if that actually is the that's not the hair. Yeah, should be this bling. I know it's this bling because I gave it bling material inside of Maya. So somewhere around here, with some rough texture to it. Just make this a bit rough, maybe slightly shiny. And make this material a bit darker than it is right now. Okay. Now back to the inner eyes. So let's start with the normal map. Let's pick texture. So our inner eyes, normal map. Okay. Then the albedo map. Okay. This looks quite reddish though. Maybe even too reddish. Maybe even too reddish. But this might kind of fit the kind of the character we have in here though. Maybe someone looking a bit tired. But we can always adjust this anyways. We can always adjust this if we want. Let's see if we can just make this slightly not too reddish as it is right now. So let's come in here. Inner eyes. Let's tone down the redness. So the redness, around here is this base tone. So it's still loading up. So let's give this a moment. So we have this in here. So I turn this back on. But better still, I'll just reduce the opacity for it. Maybe somewhere around here. Yeah, let's try somewhere around here. So I would just do an export for just the inner eyes. I'm only exporting just the albedo, or rather the base color. So let me choose a directory for it. So I'll just put this outside instead. Export. Okay, so back into Marmost Toolbag. Let's change this up. So I'll go back in here. The texture, it should be this texture in here. Still feels a bit reddish though. Still a bit reddish. I'll create a base layer. I'll just drag this down here like so. We take this down even more, like half way, and export the textures again. Export this out again. So export. That should update in here. Okay. So that looks a lot. That feels a lot better. Probably we're having this white orangish texture because of this front light. Yes, the orangish texture is coming from this front light, which is kind of a bit orangish in nature. But that's fine. That's fine. So let's now that we have this in here, we would I don't think we need any roughness in here, but let's just make this quite rough, like so. Maybe not too much, probably somewhere around. Let's make it a bit more reflective. So now let's turn on the new outer eyes. It's going to be like kind of glass material. So outer eye. For this should definitely be reflective. Metalness, not too sure though. Let's add some metallic this skin texture to it. Then where is it? Under transparency. Let's try the cutout. Probably turn off let's turn off this metalness. Let's turn off this metalness in here. So, but let's change this transparency from cutout to data instead. Let's see what this gives us. Okay. So let's just drag this back down somewhere around here. This alpha should be maybe somewhere around 0.1, 0.15. Then let's turn on metalness for this. So I'm basically looking at this shader in here, kind of figure out what it's been. So now it's a bit more reflective now, close to what we want. It's close enough. If I should rotate my light around this, it's not completely perfect though. Let's keep experimenting with this until you kind of figure something out. Probably increase That looks weird. Let me turn off this metalness. Let's see what happens when I turn off metalness. Nah, it's not giving us a good result. So let's take this back down. Probably somewhere around here. So, but I saw in this transmission is refraction. Let's see if we can get this refraction to work with this glass shader. Okay. Refraction index map, index of refraction 1.5. That seems fine. So I'm going to be working with the default for now. So don't know if, let's see if turning off the metalness should do anything in there. Okay. Trying to notice if there will be any major difference when I adjust this. I think it looks a lot better around. Let's try this all the way to zero contribution for this. It should be definitely, let's see, too rough all the way here. I think this kind of feels a lot better now. I guess let's see what happens when I take this up even more. Nah, that looks terrible. I think a mid value like this should be fine. I think something like this should be fine. For now, it should be fine. Okay. So now I've kind of blocked in or put in the eyes and the texture. In the next lesson, we're going to continue on and then start texturing the other parts of the asset, which is the garments, the belt, and the shoe and the wristwatch. Okay. So I think this should be fine. So I'll see you guys in the next lesson. So bye for now.